A rogues gallery of potential killers was lined up and ready for a closer look. Police say Stephen Bales was the puppet master of this bizarre mini-cult, a handful of people, supposed friends of Kayla Sedoskey, that might have been involved in her murder. Michigan state troopers launched their inquiry by talking to Kayla's boyfriend of 2 weeks, Louis Cutliff. He proved to be a weak possibility as the killer and was never a serious candidate.
No, not at all. He was, besides being the, last person that on the cell phone it looks like she spoke to, everything he told us, we were able to confirm.
He was calm, but he seemed genuinely upset that his new girlfriend had been killed. He advised that the last time that he had spoken to her was February 15th in the evening, and I was speaking to him on March 4th. So he realized something was wrong, but he wasn't sure if she'd been harmed or she just didn't want to talk to him anymore.
This brings us back to Bryn Smith, one of Kayla's love interests and the cousin of her ex-boyfriend, Stephen Bales. In the interview room, Bryn was horribly unskilled at outgunning the police.
Point out to him that she, with phone calls with a friend and his aunt, that he had divulged some of the details of the crime scene that we had not released in public. He denied that he had talked to either one of them. I actually called his aunt during our interview so he could hear, and she verified that she had shared that information with me.
Oh, and I'm sure he wasn't too happy about that.
He eventually became very hostile during the interview, stated that I was a liar, and he stated he didn't want to talk anymore.
Facebook messages clearly indicated that Bryn Smith had asked Kayla Sedoskey on a date, and that he had chosen a rather strange place for their romantic interlude, the now vacant Boysville Juvenile Detention Center just outside of town.
So he was telling her he's got somewhere where they can go. She was sharing her location with them, so you can see where she was at. And, we knew where she was last when Bryn Smith showed up to pick her up to where, he took her to Boysville for her to be murdered.
Kayla was really excited to be on a date with Bryn, as evidenced by her Facebook messages. And as he was driving her to Boysville to be killed, she changed her Facebook status to in a relationship with Bryn Smith. She's seeing him as a boyfriend, and he's literally driving her to her death.
On that night, Bryn Smith was also talking to Steve Bales, who had gotten married the day before, February the 14th, Valentine's Day. As he started a new chapter in his love life, Bales also wanted to erase his romantic past, starting with his old flame, Kayla Sedoskey.
It just appeared that she once was part of their friend group, and they no longer liked her. They just wanted, Stephen Bales just didn't want to have to deal with her in his life anymore.
What happened next was one of the sickest and most heartbreaking crimes we have ever examined.
On the day that Kayla was murdered, the investigation showed that a group of people from Steve Bales' apartment, specifically 6 of them, had plotted to kill her.
As Stephen Bales' new wife monitored a police scanner just in case, Bryn Smith picked up Kayla Sedoskey for their date and brought her to the abandoned gymnasium at Boysville, where the other 4 members of the Bales group, all dressed in black, were waiting for her. There, Stephen Bales and his gang forced Kayla onto her knees, stood around the terrified young woman, and fired 3 pistol rounds into her body.
And then they just left her there.
And it was then that you singled out Steve Bales as the ringleader?
We believe that Steve Bales had coordinated the entire murder of Kayla. We have messages from Bryn Smith to Steve on the night of the homicide, right around the time we believe Kayla was killed, in which Bryn Smith said, "Dude, I can't find the gym." And Steve replied, "I can hear you coming."
And whether or not he was the shooter, Bales' behavior after the killing raised a lot of red flags.
He painted his Dodge Journey bright blue. He fled the state right after we believe Kayla was killed. And then when her body wasn't found, he returned. And then the day after her body was found in March, he fled the state again.
And the U.S. Marshals actually helped you out when you arrested Stephen. How did that all go down?
he was confronted by the U.S. Marshal. He had an 8-hour standoff in a residence in which he refused to come out, and they eventually had to use tear gas to have him come out.
In prison and awaiting trial, Bales was indignant.
He started off just kind of telling us how much that he loved Kayla. And then once we started to present facts to him, he didn't want to talk to us anymore. So I think he truly thought that he was going to get away with this.
Eventually, the court had its say in the matter, and every last one of Stephen Bales' gang of murderers went to prison. Some of them even testified against each other. So that leaves one last question. Who was the one who pulled the trigger?
We believe that Kayla Ramsey was the actual shooter in the homicide based on multiple witness testimonies and including people who were involved in the homicide.
And just like the rest of the Bales crew, Kayla Ramsey was supposedly a friend of the victim.
Kayla Ramsey denied that she had any conflicts whatsoever with Kayla Sedoskey. In fact, Kayla described her as a sweetheart. However, voice message and then Facebook showed that Kayla Ramsey was swearing and accusing Kayla of threatening her son and stated that you're done several times.
So was it an argument between the two girls that led Kayla Ramsey to pick up a .22 caliber handgun and murder Kayla in cold blood? The Bales gang hasn't revealed the truth, and we may never know for sure.
So it's, a real life horror movie. It was disturbing to think that people are just capable of just coming up with a plan like that just because they don't get along with someone.